In a labyrinth of shadows and silences, where hope fades like sand through fingers, the story of Ivone Alvarado emerges as a painful enigma. A 13-year-old girl, consumed by the shadow of a family disagreement, ventures into a dark night, never to be the same again. Blurry images, captured by security cameras, reveal Ivone in the company of a man of unknown identity at a water park. In a world where innocence is stolen and hope fades, the story of Ivone Alvarado confronts us with the shadows that lurk in the darkness. A mystery that cries out for answers, an enigma that invites us to question the fragility of life and the dangers that echo in the silence. The images you are about to see deeply shook the Chilean population in mid-February 2025. They reveal a distressing moment. Young Ivone Alvarado in the company of an unknown adult man. Days earlier, Ivone's family had reported her disappearance, triggering an intense search by the authorities. The recording, released later, confirmed the worst fears. The girl was being held captive by an unknown man. This fact generated numerous hypotheses about what might have happened, and for weeks, anguish persisted without clear leads. However, an unexpected event brought an end to this nightmare. What happened to Ivone Alvarado? Who is the mysterious man accompanying her at the water park, and what are his intentions? What horrors might she be facing? Join me on this somber journey in search of the truth. Hello everyone, welcome to the True Crime Files Investigations channel. If you are a lover of real criminal stories, get ready for an exciting marathon. Every week, we will explore shocking and remarkable cases, the most complex and intriguing ones, with an in-depth analysis of the details and motivations behind each event, which leads us to question human nature. Subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and ensure you're always up to date with our exclusive content. Leave your like to strengthen our community and motivate me to bring more and more impactful and unprecedented stories. Get ready to discover the backstage of the crime world, learn about the failures of the judicial system and the stories of victims fighting for justice. Welcome to an investigative and emotional journey. I count on you on this journey. The truth is about to be revealed. So, fasten your seatbelts, because the investigation begins now. Ivone Alvarado Arvels, a Chilean teenager of just 13 years old, had moved to Santiago with her mother, Yuri Arvels, and her stepfather, Manuel. The young girl attended San Alberto School, where, as is common in adolescence, she began to display more rebellious behavior. The family, trying to remain calm, attributed these attitudes to her age, and although Yuri was concerned, she never imagined that the situation could escalate to something so serious. In a moment of frustration, after an act of disobedience, Yuri confiscated Ivone's cell phone as a form of punishment. Upon returning it, the device was inexplicably stolen, leaving the young girl isolated from the digital world, without access to her social networks. In early February 2025, unexpected news brought a glimmer of joy to the family: a surprise trip to Brazil for Ivone. The departure was scheduled for Monday, February 17th, but cruel fate intervened, turning the expectation into a nightmare. On the night of Friday, February 14, 2025, a heated argument occurred between Ivone and her mother, apparently after the young girl referred to her stepfather disrespectfully. Overcome by rage, Ivone left home without permission, an impulsive act that would change the course of their lives. Upon returning, she knocked on the door, but as punishment, she was not answered. Ivone, stubborn and hurt, left again, and at 9:50 p.m., she entered the elevator of the building where she lived. Security cameras recorded the young girl fixing her hair, biting her nails, and repeatedly pressing the elevator button, as if she were in a hurry. After a minute and a half, Ivone left the elevator, disappearing into the anonymity of the night. On the street, another camera caught her walking away from the place, heading towards an unknown destination. As the minutes passed and her daughter's absence continued, Yuri panicked. Ivone's outings, previously considered just passing tantrums, now turned into a cause for great concern. That same night, Yuri reported her daughter's disappearance to the authorities, desperate for answers. According to the mother, Ivone had left to look for documents. But without a cell phone or access to social networks, the search became extremely difficult. The police, acting quickly, obtained the security camera footage from the building, including the elevator, and released a bulletin with the young girl's description. 1 meter 60 tall and 45 kilos, brown hair, and a medium build. On the day of her disappearance, Ivone Alvarado was wearing a skirt, white socks, black shoes, and a dark blue coat. Thanks to the efforts of the missing persons search section, which analyzed various security cameras, Yuri and Manuel were able to reconstruct Ivone's steps. After walking through several streets, the young girl reached an intersection and, at 10 p.m., took the subway, changing lines towards the center of Santiago. At 10:30 p.m., she disembarked, but the trail was lost, as the station has 3 exits. The local media echoed Ivone's disappearance, causing national commotion. The population followed the case closely, anxious for news. When questioned about Ivone's possible acquaintances in the area where she disembarked, Manuel recalled conversations with his stepdaughter, in which she mentioned outings with friends at the station. However, the young girl did not provide additional details. Parallel to the police investigation, Ivone's family exhausted all resources to find her. They visited kiosks near the station, distributed posters with the young girl's photo, and sought any information that could lead to her whereabouts. Faced with Ivone Alvarado's disappearance and the absence of her keys, the family took a desperate measure. They posted a note on the door of their house, hoping that the young girl would return and know that they were waiting for her. The panic was palpable, and anguish took over everyone. Amidst the affliction, expressions of solidarity emerged, such as prayer chains organized by Ivone's school, pleading for her safe return. On Saturday, February 15th, an agonizing twist. A schoolmate claimed to have seen Ivone at a water park 30 kilometers from home, in the company of an unknown adult man. The description of the man, tall, bald, and between 30 and 40 years old, generated even more concern, considering that Ivone was only 13 years old. Yes, I saw her with a man who was between 30 and 40 years old. He was tall, dark-skinned, and bald, the witness reported. The nightmare intensified on the 4th day of the search when Yuri received a disturbing phone call. On the other end of the line, a distorted male voice claimed to have Ivone, but demanded absolute silence with the police. In desperation, Yuri complied with the instructions, anxiously awaiting a new contact and the promise of hearing her daughter's voice. However, the call never came, and the silence became deafening, turning the search into an agonizing mystery. The family's lawyer, in a statement to the press, revealed crucial new information. Ivone left home without keys, a backpack, or extra clothes, suggesting that she planned to return soon. The hypothesis that the young girl was being held against her will gain strength, especially considering her enthusiasm for the trip to Brazil. On Friday, February 21st, the case took on even darker contours with the release of a security camera video from the water park. The images showed Ivone going up the stairs of an attraction, holding hands with the adult man. The young girl's apparent calmness raised suspicion that she knew him. The authorities, however, stated that they did not know the man's identity. The family's lawyer also revealed that Ivone had entered a taxi with 2 adults after leaving the subway station. In an emotional appeal, Yuri pleaded for her daughter's return, reminding that kidnapping is a crime in Chile and asking for the support of the authorities. Yuri expressed suspicion that Ivone's friends were withholding information out of fear. Even if they all say they didn't see her, my intuition tells me they're lying, the mother vented. Anguish gripped the city when the video of Ivone's disappearance spread like wildfire on social networks. The media quickly mobilized, releasing the images in the hope that someone, somewhere, could recognize the young girl and provide crucial clues to the police. Every detail, no matter how small, could be the key to finding her. Amidst the growing apprehension, the police and the people finding department intensified their efforts, holding frequent meetings. Ivone Alvarado's relatives, accompanied by their lawyer, also participated in these meetings, sharing information and seeking answers. New leads emerged, including audio-visual records indicating Ivone's last known whereabouts. However, the investigation encountered frustrating obstacles. The security cameras, previously considered a hope, failed to clearly capture the license plate of the taxi in which the young girl had entered. The search for Ivone Alvarado intensified, expanding its focus beyond the mysterious man seen at the water park. The police, in a tireless effort, also concentrated on the taxi driver and all the people who may have had contact with the young girl. In search of answers, Ivone's circle of friends was thoroughly interrogated, hoping that someone could provide crucial information about her whereabouts. The days turned into an endless agony for Ivone's family. The distressing silence and the absence of news turned the situation into a real nightmare, where the fear that Ivone was in the hands of dangerous people became increasingly palpable with each passing hour. Amidst the anguish, the family clung to any clue, no matter how small, hoping to find Ivone safe and sound. The police, meanwhile, investigated the possibility that the encounter with the man at the water park was not the first. Although there were no clear records, experts profiled Ivone, seeking details that could direct the investigations. Ivone Alvarado's parents were questioned about her friendships, but they insisted that their daughter never got involved with bad company. They reported that Ivone had few friends, and they didn't know of any recent encounters outside of school. The absence of social networks made it even more difficult to track her contacts. The police also interrogated Ivone's friends, always with the presence of their parents, due to their minority. Despite the cooperation, the police felt that some friends might be hiding important information. The investigation continued, hoping that Ivone would return home soon. While the police sought to profile Ivone Alvarado, a friend of the young girl made a chilling confession to Yuri, adding another chapter of suspense to this distressing case. A disturbing revelation emerged from the account of a friend of Ivone. In December 2024, in a park after school, an adult approached the young girl, taking advantage of a moment when she was alone. During the conversation, the man asked for photos in exchange for money. The content of the images was not disclosed to the authorities, but the information became crucial to the investigation. The man's physical description matched the individual who appeared with Ivone in the water park video. The situation was aggravated by the fact that Ivone was 13 years old, legally considered a child in Chile. Experts highlighted the seriousness of the case, both from the point of view of criminal responsibility and sexual consent. The investigation took an even darker turn on Monday, February 24th. The man from the water park allegedly handed Ivone over to another person at a subway station. The new person of interest was identified as Ada, a tattoo artist and body piercer from a nearby establishment. The owner of the establishment cooperated with the authorities, reporting that an employee arrived with a suspicious-looking teenager. When questioned, the young girl claimed to be 17 years old, but the owner of the establishment doubted her age. Concerned about the girl's safety, she fired the employee, who left without saying anything and never returned. Upon hearing the news that her daughter might have been handed over from one man to another, Yuri went into despair. A possible friend of Ivone Alvarado contacted her, reporting that one of the men was Peruvian and lived near the station. The authorities intensified the searches, conducting operations in 4 houses in Santiago, but without finding clues. Yuri admitted to the press that she didn't know if her daughter was missing or if the authorities were withholding information so as not to hinder the investigation. "I don't know if she had any relationship with that man. She didn't have a cell phone, so I don't know how she met him," the mother vented. The uncertainty and slowness of the investigations led the family to question the effectiveness of the authorities. Ivone's mother's biggest fear was that her daughter had been taken out of Santiago, making tracking even more difficult. The images of the suspects were released in various media outlets, asking for the collaboration of the population. Despite the despair, Ivone Alvarado's mother, Yuri, maintained hope of finding her daughter again. The family was preparing to face an uncertain future, but the hope of finding Ivone alive remained. The local media raised the hypothesis that the case involved a network of trafficking of minors for sexual purposes. The authorities remained cautious, without ruling out any line of investigation, but prioritizing secrecy to protect Ivone's life. After 12 days of intense searching, on February 26, 2025, Ivone was found. The rescue occurred in the midst of a wake for a crime that had happened in the community and a blackout that affected Chile. Around 1:30 in the morning, a minor approached a police station and identified herself as Ivone, reporting that she had been held captive and had managed to escape. After confirming her identity, the authorities notified the public prosecutor's office and Ivone Alvarado's parents, who immediately took her home. The young girl was wearing different clothes than she had on the day of her disappearance, but fortunately she was fine. She and her family received psychological support to deal with the situation. Ivone Alvarado's rescue in good condition was a ray of hope amidst the uncertainty. Many people followed the case and were relieved with the young girl's return. However, questions about what had happened remained in the air. In early March 2025, the investigation of the case continued under secrecy. The police had already identified the two suspects, Isaac Osorio, a 29-year-old Peruvian, and Luis Rios, a 26-year-old Colombian. The authorities were investigating the degree of the men's involvement with Ivone and their possible participation in crimes. The public prosecutor's office clarified that the case would be kept secret due to Ivone's minority and the importance of her testimony to determine whether the suspects would be charged. The result of the rescue was considered miraculous by many, but it also raised questions about the events that led to Ivone's disappearance. The country anxiously awaited more news about the case. Many people were grateful that Ivone was safe and sound at home, while others questioned whether she had fled of her own volition and invented the captivity out of fear of returning. The coming weeks would bring more information about the case. The authorities, in a joint effort, continue to investigate the circumstances of the disappearance and the possible crimes involved, seeking to unravel every detail of this macabre plot. The public prosecutor's office, aware of the seriousness of the case, should release new information soon, hoping to shed light on the darkness that still looms over the story. The case of Ivone Alvarado echoes a silent cry that resonates in every home, a somber reminder that innocence can be the target of the evil that hides in the shadows of society. The agony that befell the family, the anguish that hovered over the city for 12 days of pure terror, are a reflection of the fear that plagues parents, a fear that materializes in every shadow, in every unknown face. Although the outcome was a relief, a ray of hope in the midst of the darkness that consumed everyone, the questions that persist are like thorns in the soul, wounds that refuse to heal. What happened in the days of captivity? What were the motives that led to the kidnapping? And above all, how to build an impenetrable shield to protect our children from the predators that hide in the shadows of society. The ongoing investigation needs to be a beacon of justice, guided by the light of transparency and rigor, illuminating every dark corner of this story. Every detail, every clue, must be thoroughly analyzed, so that all those responsible are identified and punished with the severity that their acts demand, so that they feel the weight of the law on their shoulders. Society, for its part, must be vigilant, closely following the development of the case, demanding answers and demanding effective measures from the authorities, showing that it will not tolerate impunity. Ivone's story invites us to a deep dive into our own consciences, an invitation to reflect on the importance of constant vigilance, open and honest communication with our children, and the construction of a support network that can protect them at all times, like an impenetrable shield against evil. It is necessary to be attentive to the signs, distrust strangers, and above all, believe in the strength of the community to face the evil that hides in the shadows, showing that together we are stronger. May Ivone's case be a catalyst for change, a call to action that inspires concrete measures to ensure the safety of our children, so that they can grow and flourish in a safe and welcoming environment. May justice be done, not only for Ivone, but for all victims of human evil, so that their aggressors feel the weight of the law on their shoulders. And may hope, even in the midst of pain, be the driving force that drives us to build a safer and fairer world for all, where light always prevails over darkness. Thank you so much for watching this story. Your presence and support are essential for me to continue creating quality content. So, if you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes. Your subscription and comments are fundamental for me to keep bringing quality content. Leave your opinion in the comments, always with respect for the victims, and together let's build an even better community. Thank you so much for following my work, and I'll see you in the next episode.